Okay, so welcome to the Wednesday morning mindful yoga class. Okay, happy to see you even if you're not here with us. And so if you want to start by lying down, so find a place where you can lie. So hopefully a yoga mat. Okay, lovely. And so we're just going to be here with the breath for a few minutes. So this is the way I normally start my classes, by just simply spending 5 minutes observing the breath. So you could choose to put a hand on the belly, perhaps one on the belly and one on the chest. So this touch can help us to bring us to bring the mind down into the body. So there's a sort of helps us connect to the sensations of breathing, physical sensations of breathing. So just starting to feel this movement under the hands. So we'll feel like the belly's moving in and out. And the chest is also in and out, but also a little bit up and down. And there's no need to try to control the breath. More, we're going to observe the breath. So we're just gently taking some time to observe the breathing. So the body knows how to breathe. So we don't need to get involved. We don't need to do anything. But this very simple practice of observing the breath can be deeply healing and transformative. So the breath in yoga is set to be a sort of doorway into a deeper connection with the body and the mind. And sometimes it can also lead to releasing of tension, especially physical in the body. So our bodies are very good at holding tension as we grow through our lives. And these simple practices of the body resting on the floor on a hard surface, the body breathing, can be very, very profound ways to release. I read yesterday that one of my inspirational teachers, who's no longer alive, Vanda Scaravelli, she used to drive sitting on and she had a wooden board beneath her and a wooden board at her back, because the body likes these hard surfaces. And so often the body has almost sort of congealed or crystallized, and the muscles atrophy and become very stiff and tense. And so this way of doing yoga, this mindful yoga, using the breath, can be a way to just gently start to create a little bit of space. Allow the muscles to bring them more, literally sort of blood and liquids that they need. And so now I'm going to invite you to find a place in the body which feels tight or which feels tense, perhaps painful. If there isn't, then great. But if there is, I invite you to take your attention to that place and breathe. Imagine that area of your body is breathing. So without tensing, it's just a imagination practice. So just imagine that part of your body is breathing. It can be a very gentle, slight breath, as if the breath was entering through the skin, into the muscle, down into the deep muscle, even reaching the bone or perhaps organs, whatever there is in the deep center of the body. So it might be a sore knee or back, neck, shoulders. Anywhere you notice you're feeling tense or sore, even tired. And just spending a few moments breathing into this area. And now coming away from that and widening the awareness into a wider sense of the breath, the whole of the body breathing. And now gradually we're going to start coming back. So just gently starting to wiggle the toes, fingers, and just bringing some movement into the body, and we're going to start moving soon. So Kathleen, who's with me today, you're welcome to put your audio on again if you wish before we start, because it would be good to get your feedback. Okay. And I'm going to, and I also want to check you can see me properly because I'm in a new space. I've just come home from my lockdown in the mountains. I'm now in my home in Valencia, so welcome to my home. Excuse the slight mess. I only got back yesterday. Kathleen, can you say something so I can check I can hear you?
Yes, I'm here.
Great, okay. Okay, good. So let me know if you can't see me at all or can't hear me, okay? And we're going to start moving. So staying on the back for now, okay? So we're going to stay lying down for now. If you can put the screen so I can see you, Kathleen, that would be great, somehow. Get a little bit more light in here. Okay, so.
How's this, Jackie?
Yeah, perfect. I can see you great.
Yeah.
So just lying down, we're going to look at today about creating a little bit of length in the spine and the body. Okay, so lying on the back, I'm going to get you to just gently bring the knee up and put your hands behind the knee. So just, my hands are just behind one knee, not both, just one knee, sorry. So bring up the right knee, leave the other leg down. And I'm literally just holding the leg up. And then I'm going to gently start to bring the knee towards the body, towards the chest. And then I'm going to relax my shoulder blades into the floor, into the ground. Relax the jaw. And just start sensing if there's a little bit of length being created in the spine here. I'm just going to hold this for a few moments, keeping the attention on the breath and the spine. Perhaps seeing if you can even breathe along the length of the spine. So if you can't feel it, just imagine it. And now I'm going to release that leg down to the ground and take the other knee and just locking the fingers behind the back of the knee, just gently bringing the knee towards me, towards the body. And again, relaxing the pelvis, relaxing the shoulder blades, so the arch of the spine is there, the arch of the lumbar. And again, just perhaps starting to feel the back a little bit releasing and lengthening, the spine lengthening. And just breathing along the length of the spine, either feeling it or imagining it. If you can't feel it, it's fine. And releasing that leg down to the ground and pulling up the right knee again, changing back to the right knee, good. And this time we're going to just start to point the foot up at the ceiling, gently, 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 just starting to gently lift that leg and bring it up and elongate the leg, good, lovely, Kathleen, you're doing that great. Relaxing in the pelvis, allowing the shoulder blades also to relax into the floor. The leg doesn't have to be straight, it doesn't matter. It's not so much a muscle stretch, it's more like a release. So if the leg isn't, the purpose is not to make the leg straight, the purpose is just to feel as if we're lengthening all the way down the spine, through the buttock, and into the leg, up into the foot. If the leg in this process straightens, great. If it doesn't matter. Relax that right hip a bit more. Breathing. And releasing that leg down to the floor, good. And then taking the other knee in the hands and doing the same thing. First, bringing the knee towards you a bit, gently. And then starting gently and slowly to raise that leg up to the ceiling without moving into a stretch. So I'm not trying to stretch my leg and straighten it. I'm literally sort of releasing it upwards, sort of floating it upwards. So it's a much more organic feeling. Allowing the pelvis to really relax into the ground and the shoulder blades. Back of the head, releasing the jaw. Gently just being with the breath. Releasing the leg down to the ground, great. And doing the other side again, we're going to repeat it and do the other side once more. So again, just knee towards the chest and then allowing the leg to release up to the sky. Allowing the pelvis to relax down. And seeing now if there's a little bit more space, a little bit more stretch without moving into it, trying to stretch. A little bit more release. As if with each exhale, everything just opened and released a little bit more. And then relaxing the leg back down to the floor, and last time on the other side. Back of the leg in the hands. And just gently now allowing this leg to release upwards as if it was unfurling towards the sky. And as if there was no resistance, no resistance. Again, just sometimes the imagination can talk to the nervous system. So Sometimes just by imagining something or invoking a feeling of it or invoking the idea of it can cause the body to respond to our minds. We have very powerful imagination. So we're not so much striving or striving, we're more allowing these processes to happen in the body. And releasing back down to the floor. Lovely, really lovely. Kathleen, work, looks great. And then taking the knees apart so that they're hip width apart and seeing if there's palms between the buttocks and the heels. And we're going to move into the bridge pose, Satupandasana pose. So we did this last week. So what we're going to do is, rather than lift up the hips as such, we're going to avoid doing that, and we're going to bring all of our tension down into the feet, making the feet as heavy as possible. And when we feel the feet are really heavy, we might feel there's a slight lift in the pelvis. There's a slight kind of move, natural move upwards. And then we're going to press down into the floor with the feet really hard until the pelvis just floats up towards the sky. Excuse my voice, it's a croaky morning voice. So in the mornings, the larynx is often low in the throat, making the voice more croaky and deep. That's really common, you might notice it in yourselves. So we're just here with the bridge, and we're pressing down into the floor, and the hips are really just floating up in response. The lower back is nice and soft. The shoulders are really grounding down into the floor. And I'm really working in my thighs and my feet. And my buttocks as well are also working. But my pelvis and my lower back are very soft. And just breathing. Breathing here. And when you've had enough, just coming and bringing the back down, vertebra by vertebra. Coming back down and enjoying that renewed contact with the ground. Okay, and just resting on the ground for a moment, and we're going to do it again. Just allowing a couple of full breaths before you start again. So really feeling how the breath travels up the body in the inhale. And down, so sort of a movement downwards on the exhale. So we're going to come up again. And it's interesting, we could choose to come up on the inhale or the exhale. So you could choose which one. Perhaps try the inhale, perhaps the exhale to come up. Both are fine, different. And again, we're just really bringing all the attention down into the feet as we pushing deeply down into the ground and allowing those hips to float up to the sky. It doesn't matter how far up you come. That is not the purpose. Let's just work through the thighs, through the feet, and see if you can allow that lower back to stay soft. Shoulder blades and backs of shoulders are deeply grounded, as are the feet. Okay, good. And we just stay here for a couple of breaths without, we're trying to cause any extra tension in the back. This is not the purpose. And gently starting to release down towards the floor. Gently, gently, gently releasing down, vertebra by vertebra, until the back makes that lovely contact with the ground again. It's almost kind of, for me, very pleasurable. Knees coming up to the chest, hands on the knees, and we're just going to gently massage the lower back. So moving in small circles. And just allowing you can move how you want. So just having some sort of free movement here. You might want to open the legs and do circles. You might want to keep them closed. Yeah, just gently feeling your way into some nice free movement here. And feeling into the lower back. And you might just want to release both legs up to the sky, taking hold of the backs of the thighs again. So taking hold of the backs of the thighs with the hands. Just gently stretching those legs. So now you could take a heel stretch and actually stretch the legs here. Lower back is soft, grounded, not stretching. Holding the backs of the legs with your hands. You could open the legs for a moment and just allow them to stretch as well. So we're just really in the morning opening up the body gently. You can open and close the legs a few times, opening them as wide as you can. Keeping hold of the backs of the legs, so it's just a nice gentle opening and closing. So I'm doing this dynamically, Kathleen, you can't see me, but I'm opening the legs and then I'm closing them, and then I'm opening them, but I'm quite relaxed, I'm not overstretching. Even the knees are soft. You don't need to be. And I'm keep breathing, keep breathing. And you might want to now just hold them open for a few moments, couple of breaths, opening wide as you can, holding the backs of the legs with the hands if you need to. And closing the legs now, allowing the legs to just fall back down to the floor and just resting on the floor for a few moments. Good. Couple of breaths here. And now we're going to move on to all fours, so we can just roll to one side. Literally roll over to the side, pushing up with the hands, so always protecting the lower back as much as possible, coming onto all fours. So we're going to do the cat-cow. Kathleen, I know you know this, if there's anyone watching who doesn't. The back arches down towards the ground and we look up. And then we move and the back arches up towards the sky and we look down towards the knees. The head just gently falls down and looks at the knees, and then we inhale and look up, arching the back again in the opposite direction. Inhaling, exhaling. So now if trying to do this with the breath is difficult for you, just drop that and just allow the breath to do what it wants. It doesn't matter. It can feel quite nice to do this with the breath. If it doesn't work for you, it's fine. So my hands are wide and I've got some really good contact with the ground through my hands. My fingers are open wide. Dropping the head, inhaling and bringing it back up. A lovely way to wake the spine up in the morning. And we'll just do one more and then we'll come back to neutral. So coming back to neutral. Okay, so from here we're going to do an exercise where we're going to lift up about one back leg and look up. And then inhaling and then exhaling the knee back to the ground. And then we're going to do the other side. Inhaling the other leg up, looking up. I'm looking at the screen so I can see you. But we want to look up. So I'm inhaling up, exhaling down. Good. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Good. So feeling that stretch towards the heel. So imagining that stretch starting in the neck, going down through the whole spine, through the leg, stretching away. So this lovely lengthening of the spine. So synchronizing with the breath if you can. If you can't, doesn't matter. Knees are hip width apart, not together. Knees are hip width apart, not together. Good. Okay, keep going. And we're going to add our arms into the exercise. So as we lift one leg, we're going to also lift one arm, looking up, exhaling down. And then we're going to do the other side. Inhaling up, exhaling down. And again, the other side. Inhaling down. And inhaling up. Exhaling down. Last one. One more. Good. And then we're going to sit back down on our heels. Take the head down to the floor and rest in child's pose. So it's very important here that if your head doesn't touch the floor, that you have a cushion where you can rest your head like Kathleen's doing. Wonderful. So if we're not touching the floor, we're not really able to rest. So again, if your buttocks don't reach your heels, then you need to put a cushion between them so that the body can rest in this position. Otherwise, there is still some tension. Okay, and so we're going to stretch our arms out in front of us. Yeah, so in child pose, stretching the arms out. Good. And stretch them out a little bit further, Kathleen, if you can. Good. So there's a little bit of tension there, a tiny bit. And so we're going to exhale and imagine that the spine is right at the bottom of the spine. We're going to imagine we have a tail. Well, in fact, we did have a tail. And from that tail, we're going to imagine as if the tail is releasing down to the floor. So every time we exhale, there's a little bit of extra release in the spine. So just a few breaths doing that. And now coming up to all fours again. Keep the cushion there, Kathleen, because we're going to come up and down into child.
Okay.
Okay, so from all fours, I want you to take your attention to the bottom of the spine, right at the bottom of the spine, and imagine that we have this tail there, and that tail is going to take the body down to the floor. So we're going to go all the way back, until we reach the heels. We go all the way down back into child's pose, release down completely, let go. And then we're going to move back up into all fours. And we're going to do this a few times. And as we go back, we're going to exhale. Inhale from all fours. Exhale, we're going to take those hips all the way back to the heels. That tail releasing down to the ground. And bringing the whole body down into contact with the ground. Letting go for a moment. Exhale, release. Inhale, come back up. So if you need to breathe twice as you go down, it doesn't matter. You might need to take 2 breaths on the way down. But imagine this tail pulling you back towards the earth And the whole spine releases as you exhale down to the ground. Exhale again if you need to once you're down. Allow the spine to release. Inhale back up. Good. And we're going to do it one more time. Inhaling here on all fours. Exhaling, allowing that tail to pull the body down towards the ground. And actually I'm moving faster as if the body wants me to go there. Exhale really deep. Exhale, relax. Inhale, come back up. Good. And from here we're going to go down to the floor. Coming down onto my elbows, and I'm just coming down into the floor. Okay. And my arms are down by my sides. Yeah. And we're going to do this pose called Shalambhasana, which is the locust pose. So if you have lower back problems, be careful with this pose. I find that it strengthens my lower back, this pose, but for other people they might find it gives them pain. So you need to feel into your lower back with this pose and decide and see how far you want to go with it, okay? So head is on the ground, the hands could be beneath the forehead, okay, if you wish, or perhaps a small cushion. And I'm going to be looking at the screen so I can see you, but you're looking towards the floor. And so we're going to inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to bring the right leg off the ground and lift it up from the hip. And then bring it back down to the ground. Inhaling on the ground. Exhaling, bring the left leg up from the hip. Good. And bring it back down. Repeating on the right leg. Inhale on the ground. Exhale, allow the leg to move up. So feel your lower back, make sure that you're not coming up too far. But you could even go up a bit further if it feels good. Bring it back down to the ground. Good. And the left leg. Exhaling up. Coming up on the exhale from the hip. Bringing it back down to the ground. Good. And now we're going to take the hands down to the sides of the body. Okay. And this time we're going to lift both legs up on the exhale. So inhaling here. Exhaling, lifting both legs up from the hips. Bringing them back down to the floor. Good, down to the ground. So again, before we do this, imagining that tail, and that tail is now taking us up towards the sky, so that the spine is bringing us up. Inhaling, exhaling, the spine lengthens and the legs float up to the sky. They don't need to come up so high as me. If that's not possible for you, it doesn't matter. Bring them back down. So there's a whole body coming from the spine. So it's not just I'm lifting my hips, my legs from my hips. I'm almost directing it with my tail. Inhale. Exhale. Coming up. Good. Bring them back down. And now just resting here, letting go. Taking a few moments to rest. And now we're going to do the front of the body. So on the exhale, we're going to lift up the shoulders and the head and a little bit of the chest. So inhaling, exhaling and coming up. Stretching the arms behind us, looking up, not flexing the neck back too much, the neck's long. And coming back down to the ground. Good. So now it's as if the movement is coming from the bottom of the spine, moving up. Inhaling here. Coming up on the exhale. Lovely, Kathleen. My shoulder blades move in, my shoulders move back. I'm stretching my arms and my hands. Exhaling back down, shoulders, head, everything down to the ground. Good. Next exhale, coming up, inhaling here. Exhaling, bringing it all up. So my shoulders are back, my arms are stretching back, my fingers are stretching back and up. They're behind me and they're a little bit above my body. So they're helping me come up. Exhaling down, good. And now resting completely down here on the ground. And now we're going to do both. So we're going to bring up the legs and the front of the body to do the full pose. On the exhale, so we're going to inhale here. Exhale the legs from the hips and the front of the body. Stretch the arms behind you a little bit higher. If you can, your arms, Kathleen, a little bit higher up. Exhale back down. I'm going to do it twice more. Inhale here. Coming up on the exhale. You don't have to come up too far, it doesn't matter. It's the morning, so we don't necessarily want to overdo it. Calming back down, resting on the ground. Good, Kathleen, lovely, really nice. And we're going to do it once more, so we're going to inhale on the ground. Exhaling up, so I'm going to get you to hold this for 3 breaths. If you feel it's not good in your lower back, don't hold and come back down. So we're going to breathe once. And again twice. 3 times. Exhale down to the ground. Good, lovely. Resting now. Completely letting go. Allowing the body to completely let go and relax. And now gently taking your arms to your shoulders, hands on the floor, we're going to push up into child's pose and just take a bit of a rest in child's pose from here. Okay. Good, lovely. So just coming back to the breath now, gently. Really nice. Lovely work, Kathleen. Okay, good. And so we're now going to come onto all fours. And from all fours, we're going to put the toes on the floor. And we're going to bring the pelvis back, the buttocks back towards the feet, but we're not going to sit on the heels. Bring them back, and we're just going to pop up into dog pose. Just a normal dog pose. So I'm on my toes, my knees are slightly bent, so bending the knees, not stretching the legs, and that tail is now moving up towards the sky. And as I'm going to come down, but stay up there. Okay. And so bending the knees a little bit more, Kathleen, a touch more, good. And now taking the chest towards your knees. Yeah, lovely, that's it. And feeling that space in the lower back, good, good, good. Relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the shoulders. Shoulders don't need to be tight. They can be nice and loose. Fingers are wide, hand is deeply connected to the ground. Knees are slightly bent. Exhale, knees down to the ground. Come down and rest. Just take a moment. Yeah, good. And we're going to do it again. Okay, we're going to do it again. So we're going to take the toes onto the floor. Bring the buttocks back towards the heels. Back, 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 back. And then popping up towards the sky. Exhaling here. Knees are nicely bent, good. Kathleen, you might be a little bit, your toes might be a little bit far from your hands. You might want to hold a step towards your hands. Oh yeah, excellent. Good, lovely. And just relaxing those shoulders. Breathing here, taking a few breaths, good. And now we're going to walk the feet towards the hands. Walk the feet towards the hands. We can either walk or we'll take a couple of big steps. And we're going to come and just rest down in this forward bend. So in my forward bend, the legs are slightly bent. My hands reach wherever they reach. It doesn't matter. My head is reaching towards the knees. And I'm bringing that tail. That tail I've talked about is moving up towards the sky. And so there should be some work in the back of the legs. But I'm not trying to stretch my legs. The work is coming from the back. So I'm lengthening down through the spine towards the ground. And so the belly is resting down towards the thighs. The pelvis is gently moving up towards the sky. And there's work in the legs, but I'm not trying to straighten them. And from here, I'm just going to gently start to move up. So I'm going to look up with the eyes, hands on my hips. Push up through the floor to come up to standing. Lovely. Lovely. Exhale. Releasing the arms and the shoulders. So we're going to stand in Tadasana for a few moments, I don't know how long exactly, a few moments. So I'm going to take, first of all, look at the feet. And open the toes. See if you can open your toes as wide as you can. Really opening them, imagining that you have duck feet. Okay, and seeing if you can imagine stretching the heels back. So stretching the heels back. So I'm sort of stretching my feet. And the knees are soft. So I'm not locking the knees. The knees are soft. And when I soften the knees, there's a connection between my feet and the pelvis. Okay, good. And then just allowing the shoulders and the jaw to relax. And from the top of the head, I can imagine a thread stretching me up towards the sky. So just taking a few moments to gently stand in mountain pose. So I'm not trying to create a perfect posture, I'm literally just growing and grounding. And then the body will respond and open and release. So a lot of the time you see in yoga people trying to sort of stand up straight and push the chest out, and for me this produces more tension in the body. And instead, I'm just allowing the body to ground And then from the ground, I can grow tall. And as I grow tall, everything just kind of releases. I feel there's space. So I'm not trying to do something. I'm allowing. Yes, there's work in the feet, thighs, even the abdomen is slightly activated because of the work in the feet. But I'm not trying to do something. I'm not trying to have a perfect posture. Good. And now just gently releasing completely, and we can just move a little bit the body. So just shake it out, basically, a little bit. Always good to shake out a bit. Good. Okay. So from here, we're going to do I think we did this last week. We did triangle. We're going to do a different triangle. So this is another version of it. So we're going to take the right leg forward. So I'm looking towards, I'm standing along the long side of my mat. I hope you can see me properly. Can you see me well, Kathleen? Kathleen and Christine are very similar names. It's confusing. You can see me okay, Kathleen?
I thought I'd go that way.
Do you want to come the other way so you can see me? Okay, good. You're the same as me now. Good. Okay. Well, I think you are. I've got my right leg forward. So right foot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So both feet are facing in the same direction. Okay. And my legs are straight, but they're not locked. So I'm slightly softening the knee as we did before. Okay. And from here, I'm going to take my right arm in front, and my left arm is going behind. Yeah. So there's a slight kind of move towards the side, but I'm not moving too much. And actually, no, I'm going to bring my left arm up to the sky. No, I'm going to bring my right arm up to the sky and my left arm. I'm going to bring both up to the sky. Okay, this is what I want to do. Good. And from here, I'm going to just gently start to push up with my feet. And at the same time, I'm going to bring my hips down towards the earth. So I'm bending forward. My left arm goes to the behind me a bit. And then I'm going to come and bring that arm down towards the leg, touch the leg, and I'm going to let the left arm move up towards the sky. And I'm going to point my left hip down towards the ground, but open my chest up towards the sky and swivel the head round to the side, even up towards the arm if possible. So
the balance is not good.
Yeah, tricky. So more width towards between the legs. So take your left leg out to the side. Not towards the back, out towards the side, even more. So the legs aren't parallel at all. Good. And keep that front leg a bit bent if you need to. Perfect. I can't really see the top of you, but I can see the bottom of you, and you look great. And you now just literally twisting the top arm up and the chest and opening that chest up towards the sky. So it's a bit of a twist. Okay. Gentle twist, Kathleen, for you. It shouldn't be hard. Bring that left hip down to look at the floor if you can. Okay, how does that feel? Does it feel okay?
Cramp in my bottom.
Cramping in your bottom. Okay. Any cramping, come out. Okay, release, relax. Let's do the other side.
Okay.
Cramping. Yeah, better to do the other side. Let's have a go. So now the left leg is forward. Okay. So again, I'm going to take my left arm now up towards the sky. Good. And my hips are facing forward. So your back foot needs to be facing forward, not to the side, Kathleen. Back foot facing forward.
Back foot facing forward.
Not to the side. It's got to be the same direction, even more forward. Good. Legs are apart. Good. Yes. Okay. Good. So it's more of a twist. Yeah. So again, I'm going to take my left hand up. You can use the ball. It's no problem. And I'm going to bring that arm down to the leg. And I'm going to twist gently my other arm up towards the sky. And my right hip points down towards the ground. So I'm just opening the chest. And the head can look at the floor at the side or look up towards the arm. Breathe here and come out when you need to. So if it gets sore or uncomfortable, come out, okay? And let's all come out together. So inhale and come back up. So it's quite strong, so we're just going to do it once. Good. And just bring the legs together, and I'm going to shake again. So what I do is a Charlie Chaplin shake. So if you have a look at me, I'm wobbling my legs, but it releases nicely the lower back and the legs. Okay? Good. Wonderful. Really good, Kathleen. Again, I hope it wasn't too strong for your back.
No, I didn't tell you, I've had 2 hip replacements.
Oh, you didn't tell me that either.
So I think I can go so far with my foot,
Mm-hmm.
and it won't go any further. It's coming from a hip. So I just do what I can. I do things like that.
No worries, it looked fine. So we're going to do slightly different now. We're going to do the same foot position. So right leg forward, both feet looking towards the same way. So our hips are parallel. My hips are parallel. My hands are on my hips. And I'm going to push down into the ground. My knees are soft. They're not bent, but they're not locked. And I'm going to push down into the ground and rise up towards the sky. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And next exhale, I'm going to bring my hips and I'm going to come into a forward bend, just going as about halfway down, not going to go all the way down to the floor. So it's a forward bend, but only halfway. My legs and my feet are really strong. My hips are parallel, there's no twists. Hands can be on the hips or on the pelvis at the back. And just stay here for a couple of breaths. Really good. So we don't have the leg bent, but it's not locked either. So it's just soft. And now bend the front leg more, and we're going to exhale and release down to the ground. Exhale down. Good, lovely. So your hands are right by your foot, not so far forward. Bring them back. Good. Exhale, release the head. Allow the head to fall towards the knee. Good. Just release the head, Kathleen. Let the forehead go towards the knee. Release the head completely. Back heel is on the floor of the back leg, is really grounding down. Bring the legs closer together if it's too hard. Okay, good. Couple of breaths here. Let the spine lengthen. Release the spine. Good. And now to come up, we're going to push down into the floor. Come up to halfway, hands on the hips, like we were before. Good, great, good. And from halfway, we're going to push all the way up to standing. Exhale and release. Good. Come back to center. Legs. Release the legs, release the back. Can you see what I'm doing in your legs? Can you try and do the same? The thighs are really wobbly, which is lovely. Nice feeling. Okay. And we're going to do the other side. So left leg now is forward. My right leg is foot is facing the same way. Not much space distance between the legs. They're quite close together. They don't need to be wide apart. For more stability, take the leg out to the side. Good. You can always use the wall, no problem. Hands on the hips. Knees are soft, not locked. Pushing down and straightening and lengthening up towards the sky. And on the next exhale, we're going to bend from the hips into a forward bend, only coming down halfway. Feeling that tail lengthening out towards the wall behind you. The head is in line with the back. So the neck is there's no stress in the neck. So I'm not even halfway down, I'm sort of a third down. Legs are strong and working, feet are working. Beautiful, Kathleen, that looks fantastic. So lengthening that spine on the exhale. And then bending the front leg and exhaling all the way down to the ground. You could always put a cushion in front of you if your hands don't reach the floor. So not walking out, not walking the hands out, Kathleen. Bring the hands back to the front foot. That's right, all the way back, 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 back. Hands right towards the foot, right next to the foot, almost touching it. Good, and release the forehead down to the knee. Back leg is straight. Back leg, straighten that back leg if you can. Good. So you don't want to take the back leg away. You can bring it close. It doesn't need to be so far away, but I see you need to move forward, yeah, with your hands. I can see what you're doing. Okay, so you're just adjusting, that's fine. Back leg is really strong, good. I think next time you would put a cushion under your hand, so you don't need to be so far down. Okay. Are you comfortable?
Yeah, fine.
Okay. So now we're going to push up to halfway to the hands on the hips. So push through the legs, not the back. Good. Push through the legs, not the back. Good. Wonderful. Really good. Outstanding. Well done. Fantastic. Amazing. I can't believe it before you're doing this. And releasing those legs. Wonderful. Okay. Fantastic. Good. So we're going to finish with tree pose. So Kathleen, I want you to use the wall if you need to. It's up to you. So first of all, we're going to come into just standing. So before we start, I'm just going to give you some options for this. So one option is to use the wall for balance. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when we bring the leg up, don't do it yet, just listen. We can either put the foot on the thigh, we can put it on the lower leg, or we can rest
on the lower leg,
or we can rest it on the foot.
Yeah.
Or just bring the heel up. We don't need to come all the way up here.
No.
The foot could be on the lower leg, or it could be on the foot. Okay. And I'm going to pose. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what foot is nearest the wall for you?
Right.
Okay, so right, we're going to start with the right leg. Okay, so I want you to just firstly take all your weight onto the left leg. Take all your weight onto the left leg and make the left foot strong. So left foot grounding down into the earth. Now find a drushti. A drushti is a spot to rest your gaze. And find something to rest your gaze on and keep looking in that direction. And when you feel you'll feel balance and you feel like you have your balance, take the right heel off the floor. So you're on your right toes. Good. So now find the balance again. Connecting to the breath. And when you feel ready, lift the foot up to where you're going to put it. So it could be on the thigh, it could be on the lower leg, it could be on the foot. It doesn't matter, it could just be where you are. And then bring one or two hands into prayer position. One or two hands, beautiful. And pushing down through that leg that's in contact with the ground. And now, like a tree, we're going to open our branches to the sun, the morning sun. Relax the shoulders and the jaw. Good, and stay here for a couple of breaths. A few breaths here. If you're wobbling around, that is completely normal, especially in the morning. Couple of breaths, couple more breaths. So I'm just waving my arms about a bit to keep my balance. Good, lovely. Relax the shoulders, relax the jaw. Keep looking at your drishti, the point where you're looking, gazing in front of you. Connect with the breathing. Exhale the arms down, release the leg. Good, and then shake the legs out again, so either your own way or my way. Okay. Good. And we're going to do the other side. Yeah, we're going to do the other side. So last of the standing poses for today, bringing all the weight onto the right foot and grounding down through the right foot into the ground. The knee is soft, not locked. And now bringing the left heel off the floor so you're on your left toes. Connecting, you're finding your drishti, your gaze to look, your point to look at. Connecting to the breath. When you feel you have your balance, choose the way you're going to put your left foot. And bringing the hands to the chest in a prayer position. And staying here and breathing. So you'll be interesting to notice which side feels more stable. And now you can just allow the arms to unfurl like a tree. Keep the shoulders down. Shoulders don't come out of their place. The shoulders are down. The shoulders are relaxed. Pushing down towards the ground, rising up towards the sky. Lovely, good. Staying here. Couple more breaths. If you're moving around, it's fine. If you're losing your balance, it's fine. Doesn't matter. A little bit of movement perhaps in the hands if you wish. We're not static beings, we're moving beings. Everything inside is constantly moving. I'm not sure I believe in holding the static poses in yoga fully. Being completely still doesn't feel natural, so if you want to move, move. And exhaling the arms down and the leg. Coming out and just shaking out the legs. Good. Good. So we're going to come down to the ground. Okay, so we're going to do one last pose before we come and do our relaxation. So I want you to sit on the cushion. Sitting on the cushion. Okay, good. I'm going to take our legs out. Oh, my cushion's far too high. I need a lower cushion. Okay, good. So I'm going to take my legs out. Now, Kathleen, you've just told me you have a hip replacement. So let me know if you can do this or not.
Okay.
What I want to do is with the right leg, I want us to put the put the foot against the thigh, so my knee is out to the side. Can you do?
I can't take the knee down.
Oh.
I can have the foot there, but leave it there. Leave the leg there.
And just put the foot on the floor.
Yeah?
Yeah. Okay. Everybody else who's watching, who will watch later, take the knee out to the side if you can. and then pull the right hip towards to face the same way. And now take your left toes, bring them towards you, stretching the left heel out in front of you. So Kathleen, see if you can pull your, yes, yes. Lovely. So keep that knee pointing, the right knee pointing towards the sky. Good. Feet is on the floor. That right foot is on the floor. Good. Yeah. And now we're going to stretch the hands up to the sky and elongate the back, elongate the spine, stretching up. And we're going to exhale from the hips, moving down towards the ground. Now, as you can see, I've only gone down a bit, so is Kathleen, which is perfect. The chest is open, so I'm not trying to round the back and come down. I'm keeping the back straight and long. If the knee doesn't reach the floor, it's okay. You could always put a cushion underneath it, and I'm just going to elongate the back and stretch it in front. So I'm going forward, not down. My left leg is strong. Good, lovely, Kathleen, beautiful. Really lovely. So I'm moving forward, not down. And the lower spine is stretching. Okay, you want that right hip. For anyone who's doing what I'm doing, that right hip is facing forward, not out. And with each exhale, we're coming down a little bit more. Inhale, the spine lengthens. The exhale, we come down. And now gently going to push up to come up. Okay, and we're going to release both legs out in front of us and do the other side. Okay, so I'm going to put my foot against the thigh and take the knee out to the side, and my left hip is now facing towards the front. Kathleen is putting her foot on the floor, knee up to the sky, which is, you could also do that version of this and adapt, depending on how the hips are. So sitting on my sitting bones on the edge of the cushion to support the pelvis. Stretching both arms up to the sky. Exhaling from the hips and coming down. So again, I haven't gone very far because I don't want to put pressure on the lower back. What I want to do is move forward, and Kathleen, it's beautiful what you're doing, really lovely. There's no rounding in the spine. So you're keeping that spine straight and we're lengthening the spine. It's not about how far down I go. So if you're flexible, you can go far. If you're not, you can't, and it doesn't matter. Being flexible is not what this is about. It's just really a practice to lengthen and release the spine in a gentle way. So I'm not pushing to come down. I'm allowing the body to move gently forward, softly, gently. Beautiful work. Wonderful. So my right toes are towards me, my right heel is stretching, so that leg is working. The left hip is facing the front. Excellent. And inhaling, pushing, coming back up to center. Beautiful work, Kathleen. And I'm going to invite you now to come into your lying resting pose as we come into our relaxation. Okay. So finding if you need to do anything else with the back, if you need to do any other pose movement, please go ahead. For your back, you might need to do a twist. You might need to do something else, whatever it is. Good. So Kathleen, if you're going to, okay, you're going to straighten the knees. Lovely. So gently coming down into our Shavasana, our relaxation posture.
I'm going to turn around because I've forgotten to put my hearing aids in. So my head is near to you.
Quite important to hear, yes. I'm not going to say very much. I'm going to let you rest.
That's great.
Okay. So just gently closing the eyes as we start to bring the body and the mind into rest and relaxation. Relaxing the jaw, the shoulders, the hands, the hips, the legs, the feet. So seeing if we can just invite the body to release and relax. So we can use the hard surface of the ground to release the body on. And so we hold all sorts of tension all over the body, and often we're not very aware of it. But here we can consciously take our attention to areas of the body that we can notice are tensing and just invite them to relax. So again, it's more of an allowing than a trying. So sometimes we move into trying or striving, and actually when we do this, we produce more tension in the body. So here we can invite the body to release and invite the body to relax. It's a different kind of a message. Letting go. Allowing. And so now, very gently, we're going to start coming back. And to bring a little bit of movement into the body. Very gentle. Before sitting up, I'm going to ask you to roll onto your right side. And just stay there with the eyes closed for a few moments. Now, if you wish, coming up, starting to move into seated posture, perhaps keeping the eyes shut if possible. And just gently coming up. And when you're there, we're going to take the hands in front of us and rub them together. And then take the hands to the eyes are closed. And we're going to just gently open the eyes and the hands. And when we're ready, allowing the hands to fall away. As we bring this class to a close. So, thank you, namaste.
Thank you, Jackie. Namaste.
I'm going to stop recording.